Hey you guys, I'm Christina. This is Say More, a podcast about the kinds of conversations that invite us to go deeper. I'm a therapist, and this is a space for honest reflection on what shapes us, from early unconscious patterns to how we actually change and grow. Some episodes explore theory and ideas, and others are real, reflective talks with therapists and other people I love talking to. People who are on the path or simply curious about growth and healing. At times, I follow what's alive, letting topics emerge from my own life, my guests, from sessions, or from whatever's been coming up lately. If you're drawn to depth without needing perfection and want a space that holds both pain and possibility, you're in the right place. I'm really glad you're here. Let's say more. We are here with Evan Honerkamp today. Thank you for joining Say More podcast.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So Evan is a amazing art therapist and works in Denver. And I just wanted to have you on the show today because I think you're awesome and I love your work and we go way back. And I just wanted to talk to you because you're just a lovely person doing really great work in the world. So thank you for being here. Yeah.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. I know it'll be
Pleasure.
fun just have a conversation with yeah, wonderful times that we've had.
Yes.
Love it.
So let's just start. Grounding in this moment, I'd love to hear just like what's going on in your world right now. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Um, yeah, I'm just really aware of the aliveness of doing a first podcast interview.
What's that
Feeling
like for you,
slow
Evan?
in the rush. Oh, destabilizing, a little ungrounding, very ripe
Yes.
for whatnot,
Yeah.
which is yeah, it's leaning into excitement more than sheer
Okay.
terror.
Sheer terror. Okay, got it. Some excitement. Well, I think Naropa has trained us well for those moments, right? Like that's what at least my grad program did was sitting in the fire of like discomfort or big feelings, and that was kind of the training that I think we got from our little Buddhist inspired university to be therapists.
Absolutely,
Does that
absolutely.
resonate
Yeah,
with you?
it does.
Yeah.
It's like walking into the elemental space, like fiery
Mm.
and airy, and also like,
Mm.
what's the ground? What are we gonna find beneath our
Mm-hmm.
feet? When we're
Yes.
with people, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'd love to hear a little bit about your path. Where should we start?
Yeah. Well, even just like thinking of this question of like, where is the path? Where did it start? I think something that always comes to mind for me is just how finding out about the profession, about the thing, the doing of art therapy
Hmm.
was such a like lightning bolt moment
Mm.
for me. And even now, like in this moment, I'm like, okay, I'm connecting with the feeling of fortune, like feeling
Mm.
fortunate and grateful that I had prior to my undergrad experience. That's when I actually heard that art therapy was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had always found myself in these kind of two areas of expressing myself creatively, making
Mm-hmm.
art, connecting with music very, very deeply. Uh, Having a lot of my creativity be validated and boosted by friends and family and teachers over the years. Like, so freaking fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And also being a care worker of some sorts. Part of my family we as a family have had the lived experience in working together to support people that, in particular, people that have developmental and intellectual delays and disabilities.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
I
yeah, a
didn't know that.
younger,
Hmm.
my dear to my heart, Bridget.
Hmm.
Uh, I, as her older brother, are really took it upon myself, and I think my family really appreciated it too, that, I would be there to support her in
Mm.
any of the ways that I could.
Mm-hmm.
And that really led me into working with families and teens and kiddos on the autism spectrum. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the vast majority of kind of where, my clients or my families that I would work with at the time, and that was their lived experience.
Right.
And
Right.
so, yeah, I was like doing art as my own thing, as a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
as something that I was pursuing in high school and undergrad, and making some money, like being a worker out in the world and having the support and the lived experience of, yeah, being a direct care staff, a behavior interventionist.
Okay.
These are kind of some of the languages that were used.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they are these days, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
back in the 2000s, things
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
quite different in a lot of ways. Yeah, and then towards the end of my undergrad, where I got both like devastating news that I really wanted to get a BFA, Bachelor in Fine Arts, doing
Mm-hmm.
printmaking and painting.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to earn it.
Mm.
There was a whole like at the end of um, the 2 or 3 year track,
Mm-hmm.
based upon your work and like having an art show, you either got like, yes, you get the BFA, or
Oh.
you're sent over to the BA, right? Like the
Wow.
not all specials.
At the end of the program?
At the end of the program,
Whoa.
yeah,
That's
it was
crazy. Yeah.
it was intense. And that was, really just like what the fuck for one, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
how like I didn't anticipate this whatsoever, right? Like, okay, yeah, I'm doing my art, like I'm having really fun and I'm finding my own voice as a conceptual artist, which is quite popular in some liberal art schools
Mm-hmm.
and fine art schools. And at the same time, there were a couple of really fantastic professors
Mm.
in my life that also saw that I had a really deep knowledge and passion and like unending curiosity about psychology, and just like
Mm.
why do we do what we do? Like what makes people people? Like
Yeah.
what just like how fascinating and weird we
Mm-hmm.
are. And special and unique and like
Mm-hmm.
endlessly mysterious. So yeah, I had some professors that were like, "Hey, actually, why don't you, lean into art therapy? Have you heard of it?"
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was just like a fusion of these two things, right? Like
Yeah.
counseling, human behavior, like understanding
Mm.
um, how we are and what makes us the ways that we are, and the creative element. I was like, oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
it was like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just like lightning bolt, like right into
Yeah.
my being. And it was like,
Wow.
okay, this feels aligned.
Very clearly aligned.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
was sort of that like, if I'm gonna do something, like if I have to be out there in the world, like doing something, being an
Mm-hmm.
adult, paying taxes, like taking care of myself,
Yeah.
like it's gotta be this. Like,
Yeah.
what else is there, right?
Right.
And
No
then,
brainer.
yeah, it was very no-brainer. And I just got to see that be kind of repeated and reaffirmed.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I did a internship practicum back in St. Louis, which is where I'm from and where I did my undergrad,
Mm-hmm.
where it was a open studio model for adults in the area
Mm-hmm.
who, each of them had their own presentation, but in some way, shape, or form, a disability or a developmental inaccessibility or the need for more creative services that were
Hmm.
free and accessible and literally like right in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did an internship there, and I was
That's
just like
awesome. Wow.
sitting there all the time, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is it.
So you loved it.
This is it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved it. And I was like just a moment of clarity,
Hmm.
just like
Mm-hmm.
so profound.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So you followed that to Boulder. Yeah.
after
Yeah.
I quickly realized that, you can't really just stop I mean, you can, but just given how our systems are set up, like
Mm-hmm.
going for the master's, going for the grad school is a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just looking at the handful of art therapy offerings just around the country, there were a couple that stood out to me, and one of them was Naropa for the
Nice.
transformational aspect, right? The Buddhist
Yeah.
inspired,
Yeah. What was it, I mean, a general question, what was it like going to Naropa for you?
earth shattering. Oh my gosh, it was intense.
Yeah.
So intense. I think I was like dissociated for the majority of it.
Mm. And this was a
Yeah.
3-year program, right? Your art therapy program.
I actually can't remember other than
I was dissociated. Don't remember.
what is time, what is space. I think I showed up to classes.
Now I'm an
uh,
art therapist. Yeah.
yeah, somehow I'm here. Um, and not in the same city either. Like, oh,
Well, yeah.
um, yeah, no, it was pretty like my world was rocked.
Mm.
And yeah, just like how to be in relationship with
Mm.
myself, how to be in
Mm.
relationship with others, like what is my stuff? Um,
Mm.
yeah, kind of exploring who I know myself to be, what my potential is. We have blind spots and like, oh yeah, we have things called egos too.
Right. Right.
Yeah, what does it mean to not center yourself also? Like that
Mm.
role of the therapist
Yeah.
in communion. I mean, all of that was so new for me.
Could you
Yeah.
say just what are like the pillars or what's the core kind of philosophy at Naropa in for art therapy, becoming an art therapist?
Mm.
Like what do they teach you or the most?
Yeah. Well, they teach, I think, in a very kind of maybe 101 starting place is they kind of teach that historically art therapy has, as a profession, has had kind of these two, not necessarily competing camps or paths that don't relate to one another at all, but like that there was more of a art psychotherapy track where it's kind of used in a way of diagnosing and assessing, much more focused on the product itself and what that might say about
Okay.
the individual or their
Hmm.
circumstance. And then another aspect which I think that at the heart of Naropa, they really connect with expansively is like the art making and being
Mm.
in process
Hmm.
with yourself as a creator
Hmm.
and creating your and co-creating your environment, that like that in itself is the healing, that is
Mm.
aliveness.
Ooh.
So kind of, yeah, like
Yeah.
being in process with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Um,
Mhm.
so going back to like your own learning process at Naropa, can you say more about what you learned in that context then?
Yeah, I mean, there's really, at the risk of like maybe name dropping, like, these art historians or these, very notable, accomplished art therapists. Yeah, there are just so many wonderful thinkers and creators and people that have come from so many walks of life, whether
Mm.
it's like, anthropology or being a scholar of the arts, art historians, art educators. Yeah, there are so many great people who have really formed and kind of like
Mm.
created and went on different avenues. And art therapy, like as a profession, isn't that old too. I think it's like 80, 90, 100 years, probably not even 100 years.
Mm. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, a lot of people that kind of approach it from different areas.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the quotes there's many quotes that I love too that I think really informs my work is Eleanor Ullman talked about how art itself is the meeting place, the meeting ground between the internal world and the external world.
Ooh, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you now?
Well, for one, that means that we don't exist in isolation. Like
Yeah.
there is not a vacuum. And I think health and wellness for individuals and for peoples and community and relationship is that like, no, we're actually interconnected here. We take in the external and it forms our internal. We take out of us what's in here too, to express our experience of the world around us.
Yeah.
And to create it too, right? Yeah, another thing, I think we talked about this maybe earlier, is there's a woman, Dasanyaki, who I don't think was a true art therapist, but she was very much an art scholar, art and humanities scholar. She talked about how even like before and also outside of our very like modern Western notions of the arts, humans as a universal way of being in the world is that we have this drive and this call and this specialness to make special, like to make special. And that's like anything in life, even like our daily life, can be made into not just the ordinary, not just the just existing, which nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
but also like we we create through ritual, create through connection, through dance, through song, through poetry, and that is so incredibly human. And it's not necessarily something that other sentient beings or the plant world or the
Yeah.
animal world exactly does.
Mm-hmm.
They
It's
have
very
to
uniquely
absolutely.
human to create and interact with ourselves and the world. And
Yeah.
is that how would you define creation? That's like a crazy question. Like, wait, well, not in a biblical sense, but like, how do you think
Let's
of
see how much
create?
time we have. Can we yeah.
What?
How much time do we have to
We have as much time as we want. I'm just curious about, yeah, what do you think that is? Creation or creativity?
Oh man. Yeah, I think it's being active, an
Mm-hmm.
active participant
Mm-hmm.
in
Hmm.
yeah, seeing yourself as part of it.
Yeah.
And critiquing it,
Mm-hmm.
observing it very much, being part of the mystery and the wonder, right?
Mm.
Like, gosh, there's something about art that I think is a way of getting closer to maybe the ineffable, or
Mm.
that which feels like deeply deeply moving,
Mm-hmm.
or our sense of like, oh my gosh, we even have the ability to create, like
Yeah.
there's some divinity in that.
Mm.
And I think it's, yeah, like it's an expression of trying to honor that, trying to understand it, reckon with it. Like, how much power do we have if we are creating? Like, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So creation, creativity has been like, from what I understand, just like a thorough line from when you were very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been the thread of that has been so, so important. Yeah. I'm kind of getting like a download just in
Please.
this like
Yeah.
this thorough or this thread that's just
Yeah.
always been there. Yeah, I think even before um it was really kind of like siphoned into academia, like I'm going to study
Mm-hmm.
this. I mean, I found myself lost in but also comforted by the
Hmm.
world of music and art and lyrics, right? And like the things that were also bigger than my hometown, than my family, than, you
Mm.
know, it felt like I always needed something that was bigger than kind of
Mm-hmm.
the box of, going to school. This is how you make friends. This is, what a good son does,
Yeah.
right? How do I understand myself spiritually too? I
Mm-hmm.
think I've always really been drawn to something like and yet or and more.
Mm.
That would like help me make sense of myself and the world.
Yeah.
And art did that more than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Like
Yeah.
viewing art or doing art, or what do you mean?
Both. Both. Um, I mean, I think one of the first ways of like observing it that I can really connect with it that still sticks with me, and it's actually come back through more recently,
Mm-hmm.
um, when I did some of my first ketamine psychotherapy experiences,
Uh-huh.
um, and had some really wonderful kind of altered states and
Mm-hmm.
coming back to spirit and soul for me and
Mm.
identity too, like the interchange of that of yeah, I would spend so many evenings going outside when it was decent and when it wasn't cloud covered, which it is a lot of the times, either one of those in Missouri. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
like going out after dark, oftentimes after having, a teen rage, filled conversation or conflict with parents, right?
Yeah.
Like, I hate this place, I hate school, I hate you guys. Like, I would like leave there and then leave home and then go to this really beautiful park
Mm.
that just had some of the best views of the night sky.
Mm.
Remember so many times just looking up and seeing the stars and having conversations with them, like
Mm.
asking them what I need, asking them to like look down on me and be there from this very like wide angle lens
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
kind of place, right? Like, okay, you see me and you see these fellow humans that I'm trying to figure this thing out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just really resonating with that, like
Mm.
being witnessed and cared for.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had so many experiences like that that I think even though I wasn't like with pen and paper at the time,
Yeah.
I would go back home and do sketches.
Okay.
There were so many different drawings that I did of like
Mm.
me and like this energy, this like loving divine kind
Mm.
of presence connecting with one another. I
Mm.
remember one that was like really, really dramatic where
A teenage drama scene of the
So,
divine in you.
totally. Oh my gosh, those I need to find those images by the way, because like I'm
Yes.
sure they're just so rich.
Ooh, we can put it with the podcast. We like
I don't
Evan's
love
teenage
that.
art.
Maybe. Well,
Okay, okay. Yes, yes. Okay.
there was this one image of like this like very broadly sketched and kind of like looking very malnourished, very stretched out, kind of like stick figure in total despair and dismay, and literally like falling into the earth. And there's all these
Okay.
like cracks around, right? Like literally, I'm like falling into the, I don't know, the depths of hell or something.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
also me like trying to reckon with queer identity and my Christian upbringing too. So it's found its
Mm.
way in this expression too, right?
Here we
It
go.
was just like,
Yeah.
ugh, right? Like wasting disease, like being, bludgeoned in the heart or the head, like totally drama. And then
Mm-hmm.
this like beautiful angelic force that's just like
Mm.
embracing me. It's something so huge.
Mm.
I was like, okay. Okay, I think like maybe we can work together. Maybe I'm not in this entirely alone.
Mm. Mm.
Maybe there's a way through creation, right? Through like, yeah, making marks and like figuring out what
Mm.
divinity looks like, what
Okay.
spirit looks like.
That's yes. Um, sorry, my like therapist brain slash like trying to understand it. It's like it's such a beautiful image of going out and connecting with expansiveness in nature and feeling connected and held, and then bringing that back and drawing it and having a gift of being able to translate that into art. And then,
Absolutely. And a
yeah,
necessity, a necessity. It was like, this is what
necessity.
keeps me going.
Yeah. Sorry, just to,
Ah,
you said ketamine, and that was not when you were a teen, right? That was like
right.
as you're a therapist doing ketamine therapy training, right?
Much later. Yeah, this
Okay.
is within the last couple of years.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm quite removed from teenage years, at least chronologically speaking.
Correct, correct, yes. Um, Going back to teen and I don't know, like the image that I had when you were describing the malnourished body and falling through the cracks and like this existential teenage despair plus wrestling with queer identity and religious upbringing, it almost seemed like it was like a Jesus, like on the cross, kind of a little bit in that. Anyways, just the religion, I'm wondering if you could talk more about that time for you, being a
Yeah,
teen, wrestling with those things.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, on one hand, just like being able to be asked this question from you is just like, whoa, like what a intense time. And I almost feel like kind of connecting with, myself as a therapist now and just how
Hmm.
coming to earlier versions of spirituality
Hmm.
and how it looks like religion for many of us. And yeah, this like battle, this this battle between like self and like always wanting to feel like we are okay enough and beautiful in our expression of queerness and our uniqueness and our authenticity and our brilliance. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go on and on about just talking about how awesome, us queers are
Mm-hmm.
and like how that really gets reckoned for so many people
Mm-hmm.
that are queer
Yeah.
and or expansive. That's an even larger
Yeah.
term, I think, than even the expansiveness of queerness. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, it was so from a very young age, it was like, I think I'm a different boy.
Hmm. I'm a different boy.
And from that age too, it was like, I also am a very sensitive boy too, who
Yeah.
like is always drawn to beauty and expression and creativity, right?
Yeah.
Like things on TV and geez, music was a revelation for me.
Mm.
It was my
Mm.
church. It was, and it still is, pretty frankly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was this active moving of like, okay, I feel like I'm connecting to life and trying to connect with my life and like how to be okay
Mm.
when, yeah, there's a lot of conflict, a lot of dissenting opinion about
Mm.
being different or sensitive or, heaven forbid, queer or gay.
Right. What
So
was that like? Oh, sorry. What was that like in your town for you?
I think there were maybe two other, I'm thinking of like high school, there were maybe two other out kids and more. Like if our gaydar has any sort
Yeah.
of wisdom to it and
Right.
sensitivity, like there's also many people. And I've even followed, right? Like this is kind of one of the really cool things with social media is just see like over the years, right? Like now we're all
Mm-hmm.
going on our 20-year anniversary of graduating high school and we are connected and just seeing how many people have come to, or at
Mm.
least in this present day, sexuality, queerness, gender identity, I don't believe is ever completely static.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so many people. It's like, oh hey, I see you got out of the little town. You're in the big city. You're having fun, and like, who is this gorgeous partner that you have?
Right. Right.
Um, and yeah, so it was something that it. I mean, there were so many like messages that you got down the hall, right? Like, no real outright people, targeting me specifically
Mm-hmm.
for my presumed sexuality, although assumptions maybe they were accurate. But yeah, just the air of like, okay, is today, am I going to hear the F word today? Is somebody going to say something passing in the hall?
Yeah.
Because obviously we know that bullies are the most courageous and secure people. So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it was just like in passing where I would hear something and turn. I'm like, was that was that a ghost? Like, what the fuck did I just
Yeah.
see there?
That's
Like, if somebody has something to say, please, like, can we give me the decency, give me the respect to like be in conversation with you
right.
or not, right? Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah. Oh, and then there was this whole thing of, well, if I could lean into me just being the creative, the artsy kid,
Mm-hmm.
that that was a support, that was a protective factor
Mm.
of like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm weird, maybe I'm sensitive, maybe, I mean, not maybe, but I did dress in the real fitted girl jeans back then. This
Hmm.
was before skinny jeans.
Okay. They were popular, I feel like.
They were, but we had to go before they were like in the men's sections. We had to
Okay.
go into the women's sections and like,
I'm pretty sure my first boyfriend who was in a band wore skinny girl jeans. So,
guarantee guarantee
Southern
ya.
California, I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So there
So,
was, so again, that, I mean, gosh, that's really another like lifeline of art and creativity, being able to
hmm
say, okay, it is in a way, it's a mask. In a way, it
hmm
was a persona. It was something that helped preserve
mm,
my okayness, my
yeah.
divinity as I would hope to find it, right? Like that whole just spiritual soul quest that,
Yeah.
yeah, it was always there for me too, that aspect.
Yes, I can tell very strongly. I had a question about, so you're saying that your creative self was a mask in like a way that you would use that to
Mm.
kind of hide, or because I know it was a resource and that's like major part of your identity and beauty and connecting to that as well, but you used it as a
Yeah.
mask as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in ways that like where I might have to defend myself more
Hmm.
so.
Okay.
And like
Can
if
you
you
give
can
me an
imagine,
example? Like, how do you mean?
yeah. Well, like, I mean, how often did you hear the F word be used as a
Yeah,
slur,
it was awful.
right?
Right.
And not even towards like people that were different,
Right.
right?
Just
Or
yeah.
divinely amazing, but like, just like little presumably straight boys like teasing
Hmm.
each other, being
Yeah.
like, oh, that's a sissy thing, or you know, A, B, or C, right? Like all the different, derivatives and just being insensitive and mean and cruel,
Right. Right.
like kids and teens can be. I mean, everybody can be, of course.
Hmm. But it
But yeah,
sounds like you experienced bullying. Like there were some bullies. And
yeah,
hmm
yeah. And even more than like than specific like moments of like, whoa.
hmm
Um, and there, gosh, I'd have to do some digging to like see like were there, kind of big T trauma experiences, but like yeah, just knowing that, the law of the land is for heteros is like, right, this assumption and also the erasure of or the invisibility of like kids, even adults in many places. And this is, I'm not even talking about like 2025, right? Like Project 2025.
Right.
But like, yeah, back in the 90s, back in the
hmm
2000s,
Right.
yeah, where this is prior to social media, where we could even see and have access to people who looked and sounded and expressed themselves similarly to us.
Right.
Um, yeah, it was just like this soup of,
hmm
okay, I'm probably going to keep the queerness down. I'm
hmm
going to say, like, oh no, I'm just the artsy one. I'm going to leave my sexuality,
Right. Right.
uh, the mystery around that, even though, like, again, like 4 or 5 years old, that whole like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to marry a lady?
Mm,
Am I going to have to love them in an intimate way?
mm,
Like,
mm.
and of course, I didn't see any men loving each other.
Yeah.
Not on TV, although a little bit on TV, but then it was like highly sexualized or very one-dimensional,
hmm
right? And then,
Yes.
of
Yeah.
course, trying all of that on, like, oh, okay, I'm
hmm
going to express myself in this way. And it's like, falls flat, but also like it
hmm
helps connect me with people that are similar in some ways, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, living in the soup and still today of heteronormativity as baseline, as normal, as natural,
Right.
even when it's not like, bullying happening, it's still implied.
Yes. Yeah.
And again, like how we are in this state of things, in the state of the
hmm
world, right? Like
hmm
we really get to feel how lesser than
Mm.
many would like to categorize those of
Yep.
us queer.
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and it lives in our bones, it lives in our DNA,
Yeah.
um, in our nervous systems too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's really awesome too is like, oh my gosh, what I've been able to see throughout my life and growing into a more resourced and continuously a fortunate adult
Mm-hmm.
person who has many privileges, right?
Mm-hmm.
My cisgender identity, my whiteness, my body's ability in many, many ways. Yeah, that. Where was I going with that?
You're talking about queerness and being queer and how even today it's still in a soup of heteronormativity and feeling less than, and it lives in our bodies and nervous systems.
Yeah. And okay, I'm back. And connecting to, it isn't all mask anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's all out of defense. It's all, I mean, of course we have to walk around with some means of protection and self-preservation, right? It's a big
Mm-hmm.
and scary world. Always uncertain. But yeah, like, oh yeah, this is the stuff that lights me up on the inside too, right? Like being an art therapist, being able to engage in psychedelic work, which is so queer, which is so
Mm.
creative and non-binary in its experience. So there's so many avenues and privileges that I'm able to kind of take in and use that feels more resonant than kind of just the mask.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah.
Um, can you say more about your work with psychedelics and say more about what that means, that it's a queer experience or a non-binary experience?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think there's so much novelty in the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that I work with exclusively at this point is, and maybe always, because it's really fantastic, is using ketamine.
Mm-hmm.
That it's almost like turned up the dial of my sensory experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So pair that with music, which I already am so obsessed with.
Yeah.
And it's like it's nourishment for my system, for my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also incredibly visual for me too. So yeah, each time I will have a ketamine experience, I do my best to bring an intention. And it's often from a place of, I'm hoping to get more alignment, or I'm hoping that I get something reflected back to me that is clarifying, something that can maybe answer my questions or just lead me to the next series of questions, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
cool, now I have this to ponder. Now I have this to live through.
Yeah.
And it's always novel. It's
Mm-hmm.
different each and every time doing that experience. It's different each and every time with music coming in. It's different, like bringing in art materials in expressing kind of
Mm.
what was visualized, what was felt internally, what
Mm-hmm.
the question was, what questions I still have
Mm-hmm.
from that altered state. And then, okay, I can put it into art, and then I can be with the art
Right.
and follow it with another image.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of research in some ways
Mm-hmm.
of whatever shape or color or animal came in or constellation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I think that might be like, right, like, is that a defined constellation in the sky
Mm.
that kind of came through, or
Mm-hmm.
some galaxy? So there's just such ripeness in that that allows me to be with myself in the larger thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really exciting for me is being able to bring this to clients, and maybe stay tuned for, in the not too distant future, being able to bring more of this into group ketamine
Mm. Mm-hmm.
spaces for queer people, neurodivergent people, highly sensitive peoples. But yeah, really a connection of, or a sense of, I can connect with my way, like in the world, a way of being in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What's really valuable to me? Like what's really sticking there? Like what's in my core here?
Mm.
Um, how do I understand the pain and the traumas that many of us hold from a place that doesn't re-traumatize or like really reactivate us, so that we're like, oh, can't be with that, can't touch into it, can't feel it, can't really tend to it. There's a really wonderful way of being with the hard stuff from a less defended against way or protected against way or an overwhelm. And that is so incredibly novel. I mean, just how, again, how fortunate that is, how much of a privilege it is to be able to connect with that and have some of these avenues, some of these medicines have many people and many more people all the time from like the Western therapeutic, right? Like from our neck of the woods, our way of being in the world, career-wise, professional-wise.
Yeah.
It was opening up to, just this like new paradigm of psychedelic supported healing.
For people that are not super familiar with psychedelic supported healing, can you just give us a little definition or what that is? And then do you also do that in your practice currently?
Yeah, I do that in my practice currently. And it's really wonderful to have a wide variety of what clients are seeking for or seeking through that tool, that method. Which I think you already know this, but my practice is probably like 99% queer
Yes.
and gender and sexuality expansive and dynamic. So we're bringing in so much stuff into the work, like processing grief and the trauma of being queer in a very beige and imagination starved society and very black and white kind of society as well. How to like manage that, how to fucking live with that.
Yeah.
And just like reducing shame about our worth, about what we deserve and what we don't deserve, right?
Yeah.
Life transitions of all kinds come into that space too.
Yeah.
What's important? What am I going to keep with me through this next chapter? What do I feel I want to release? What's this beautiful expression you shared earlier of like where's that through line?
Yeah.
What can I see being here that remains?
I like that.
Bolstering and connecting with the yummies, all the ways that we can be resourced and an ally.
Yeah. Well, I keep coming back to like that image of your, like the box that you said when you were young and how, you connected with such expansiveness because by nature you're just like not in that box. And a lot of people don't fit in the box, and it's hard when you don't, and there's a lot of pressure to fit in the box. So I'm hearing like in your practice, it's a full space with different resources and tools and avenues of creative expression to validate, to heal, to grieve that expansiveness and
witness and be witness.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love like thinking of that box and that relationship with it. And something that many of my clients kind of come back to and share, and that I get to like re-experiencing that too, right? Just that exchange.
Yeah.
Being in, a beautiful relationship is that like I don't know if double edge is it, but like what an opportunity, if it can be, and I know that there is absolutely privilege in this statement, and what an opportunity sometimes there can be to say, from a very young point in time, for many of us, to say like, okay, that mold, that box, it's not fitting.
Yeah.
Right? The puzzle piece, this might be a different puzzle to work with. Right? This might belong to a 500-piece one as opposed to 100 or whatnot. Or just the image is very different that's going to come out from this puzzle and the puzzle piece or the pieces that we have. And so like oftentimes for very many of us from the very early age, it's like, oh, wait, okay, how do I be with this, like, not fitting in?
Yeah.
What does belongingness look like then?
Yeah.
What does creating, what could be possible other than this?
Mm-hmm.
How can I do that? Who is going to even be here for me through that?
Right.
Is this modeled? Do I see myself? Do I sense myself in those similar to me out there in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as one-dimensional or sexualized or very limited, brief moments, right? Like a
Mm-hmm.
side character or side
Yeah.
character. So yeah, it's one of those like, and many people don't have that, and like all the more powerful I think the work is of
Mm-hmm.
being with and tending to and having just, like truly just and affirming and advocating, not just neutral, more than that, in these positions that we hold, which we do have a lot of power as therapists,
Yeah.
to say, oh my gosh, thank you for being here. I am glad you are here. I'm glad you exist in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can we take stock and oh my gosh, let's savor the hell out of this?
Yeah.
That you have been resilient, you have lived through so many things.
I imagine that is such an amazing space to be a client in and to be the therapist.
Oh,
Both. Yeah.
my hope is that well
Yeah.
aligns, and I mean that's the highest honor.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
else is there? Going back to that
Mm-hmm.
question from little little Evan.
Little Evan. Yeah. Well, it just sounds like such powerful and rich work. What are you kind of most excited about these days in your work? Ooh, cute water bottle.
Thanks. One of the things I'm eternally excited about is bringing new stickers and bringing that
Ooh,
into space.
love it.
Lots of little funny ones where my clients and I are like either chuckling or like hee hee.
Yeah.
Therapists can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can be funny and irreverent
Mm-hmm.
and inappropriate. So yeah, having being able to bring in just new expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am connecting. So this is very, very fresh. I'm connecting and have been connecting with a group of other like-minded queer therapists in and around Denver
Mm-hmm.
who are also doing ketamine work with
Mm-hmm.
clients. And we are forming a queer therapist and queer
Ooh,
therapy collective.
amazing.
So yeah, we are leaning into how can we as a small group together
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, provide as much as we can to community that's accessible and affordable, which is really important in I mean, in every space, but also the psychedelic
Mm-hmm.
world, in the psychedelic healing world.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very
really,
cool. That's
really
awesome.
excited for that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What else? Um, I was curious about, so you hold space for clients through art therapy, talk therapy, and ketamine assisted therapy, right?
Mhm.
So what kind of transformations, why would someone want to do a ketamine assisted psychotherapy?
Mhm. Yeah, some things that come to me as responses to that question is, I mean, many people are feeling like they want something that is novel, something that allows them to have a little bit of distance. And I think this is what novelty means for many people is that having some distance from that oftentimes very stuck or very
Hmm.
kind of limited self narrative of like,
Yeah.
this is me, this is who I am, this is
Hmm.
who I always have been, maybe this is how I will always be. Really things that look very much not like flow
Yeah.
and not like creativity and
Hmm.
expansiveness in life. And so I think many people approach it from a place of, I want to just get a little bit out of my own way
Hmm.
and being able to really experience themselves with new, like literally new neural pathways
Hmm.
happening and firing, right? Kind of like dissolving some that are really stuck,
Yeah.
you might feel trapped by, right?
Hmm.
Like, this is me and this is what I always do, that kind
Yeah.
of energy. into like, oh my gosh, this is something that I could do for the first time. Here's something that actually inspire me and like, is it okay? Is it okay to do it? Shift. Um, can I be an explorer and an experimenter in my own life? I think many people, this is probably a very general statement, but I think many people want kind of permission to do that, and in a space that is ideally affirming and that is as safe as possible, it's as client aligned as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen people that are like, I just want to have more energy or reconsolidate energy. Many people that are in more of the depressive kind of place are seeking that. And then many people from another space of like, yeah, anxiety or overwhelm and wanting to do some trauma processing work, but that their system is just so much and kind of gets in the way.
Yeah.
Gets in the way of like being able to sit with and be and kind of digest and really understand what's needing to be tended to and held, and then witness, and once that is done, right, that like reparative experience, then like, okay, can I send it off, can I release it? Yeah. Yeah. And just going back to the novelty of it, it can look so different for so many people. Some of them that stick to mind for me is like, oh my gosh, a client who asked for permission, medicine, and also the space that we were in together of like, and they were like deeply in it and asking like, is it okay to cry? Like, can we release this?
Wow.
And yeah, the permission to really tend to ourselves in ways that maybe we haven't intended to before. Getting off the train of the spiral of shame, huge, 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 huge. Yeah.
And you're saying that, just a little bit about psychedelic-assisted therapy. So the medicine, whether it's MDMA or psilocybin or ketamine or marijuana, I don't know, whatever else is on the list, and some of those are approved and not approved, but I think the idea behind it, is that it does take you out of that, I think it's called like the default neural network, where it's just, that is the voice that we always hear. It is sort of the box. It's just our perpetual narrative that is pretty unconscious too. And so I think that that's good definite or description of like how it can assist in healing trauma and opening up new neural pathways, because there is that altered state that you are able to be present with, and that's why having a guide or a therapist there is so helpful in those containers or in that experience, because it's an opportunity to be with that pain that we don't usually have access to because it's too intense in a new way. So I think it's a powerful modality for
It
healing.
is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I would imagine it will, if we have our fingers on the pulse of like the paradigm of mental health or of well-being, of a more healed society. So even like outside of the industrial complex of mental health, like what a gift. And hopefully it becomes just more and more accessible, affordable, more community-based, more affirming of all identities.
Yeah.
It's certainly something that, like how queerness is represented and researched and advocated for in, the wellness journey of us as on the planet.
Can you say more about that and just what you're talking about with advocating for queerness and
Yeah. Well, I mean, bottom line for me is like, we got to queer things up.
we got to queer things up.
We got to queer things up. The systems as they have been are not working. They are working as designed by systems that benefit from erasure or obliteration or invisibility. non-representation of queerness, and also, peoples of color, peoples of culture, abilities, disabilities, neurodivergence.
Yep.
Yeah, there needs to be more of this decolonizing of our healing spaces and ways that we teach and ways that we learn and we're in relationship with people. And I realize, just as as this question is alive in me, and in what you're posing is like, I can't and I won't talk about this without like the social justice, social advocacy aspect, because it's
Yeah,
intertwined there.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
and we know the research of like the health outcomes of queer people, especially queer people of color, the barriers to health and wellness. Going to the doctor, we're not even talking about like oftentimes expensive, hard to access, because there's a crazy waiting list for many people, in these more removed, spaces for psychedelic healing, oftentimes, not everywhere, but yeah, I think that is part of the work. And just by doing that is queering it.
Yeah,
It's like we need to have spaces that are dedicated for
yeah,
queer healing.
absolutely. Well, I'm so happy to hear that you guys are coming up with a collective to offer that. And in
Mm.
and of itself, that's part of the creation of a new way, healing, and it's
Mm.
beautiful. Do you want to say anything else about that?
Oh, um, I don't know.
How did you get involved with that? Did someone reach out to you, or how did that happen?
It was through community. It was like
Mm-hmm.
friend of a friend, queer circle to queer circle.
Yeah.
We like to say, and I think it's very true for many of us, that like we are the ones together collectively that are going to save us
Mm-hmm.
here outside of ourselves. And yeah, we really rely on crowd sourcing, however we can aid one another as best as possible. And yeah, like talk with
Talk.
one
What
another.
you said?
I think a lot of it is also like, does this exist? Maybe it does. And like, can we create it? Is there more space? Is there more abundance for us and our people that we care about, who needs love and support? And yeah, places where we won't be discriminated against, or places where we're going to be villainized or victimized. So yeah, it's like we are all giving, and I think we are so our own mentors with one another, right? We do have a legacy of really badass, amazing queer trailblazers, people putting their absolute lives on the line. And like, how do we continue as a collective, as queers, to honor that and to continue to give back
Yeah.
and to take when we need a little bit of ourselves?
Yeah.
So it's like we're figuring it out ourselves, and we are giving and receiving so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's helping the world go around a little bit more sanely. So,
Yes. Yeah. That's amazing. So having that community connection and just supporting and relying and building and
yeah.
healing, you're in it and you're a creator in it as well.
Ooh.
Going back to being an active participant in that. So, yeah. I think this is a good place to stop. What do you think?
I think so. I
Okay.
think so.
Well,
But
it
what,
was, yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious. Yeah, this one felt more. I don't know. I felt in my element. Um,
Good.
yeah.
You
Felt
felt
in
in
my
your
element
element?
in the other one. I'm trying not to critique myself. I'm like, am I boring when I just talk?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm not in
So,
these spaces of being like, oh, it's actually my voice.
mm-hmm.
We could do a whole podcast on that.
Well, take the opportunity now. Tell me more what you mean. Or what it's like to be, you just said you don't have that opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I think in part of being a therapist, for one, like we do not center our work around ourselves, right? Like there's a lot of icks, a lot of red flags. A lot of
Well,
non-ethical expression in that, right?
what do you mean by that?
Well, to say that like the clients are there for what they are wanting and needing,
Mm-hmm.
and that we need to recognize too the power differential between
Mm-hmm.
therapists and all of that's given
Mm-hmm.
by many clients in society too. I think there's messages of like the therapist has the answers, listen to them. You have to be ready for, the cold hard truth
Yeah.
or the reading or
Mm.
the shade that your therapist is going to give you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the like, gosh, even like the magic wand desire for like the therapist to do even.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to try as best as possible to equalize that.
Mm-hmm.
And even better, like have the therapist be like, okay, well, like,
Mm.
where's your wisdom here? Like, what do you know? What do you sense about this?
Yeah.
What would you tell people that are really people that you care about or total strangers who are
Mm-hmm.
in a very similar position as you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you know already? What do you need to remember? Right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that is always more important than I believe like what the therapist can bring and or that what would happen if a therapist centered themselves and said like,
Mm-hmm.
well, each time you say something, client, I'm going to give you my,
Right.
like my whole life story
No,
on it.
that's not what happens.
Right, that's not what happened. I think it does happen sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
but
That's true.
not
We
all
do our
therapists.
best not to, due to, or well, I have my
Yeah,
own opinion about that.
glad to hear it.
Well, I mean, that's why I wanted to start the podcast, going back to just like therapists having space to talk. And, this is like a very experimental thing for myself that I'm like, oh, let's just talk. I don't know what's going to happen, but it seems like the people that I do this with or guests, like they feel really like good about talking. And I'm like, oh, yes, I wanted to honor your voice. That's exactly what I wanted. So, yeah, it's just
Same.
a,
Honor your voice.
yeah, give the space. Absolutely.
Love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anything else before we wrap it up, my friend?
Well, just the absolute pleasure it is to, yeah, provide a space to, yeah, like that thread that I can just pull,
Mm-hmm.
like how special this work is and being able to do it. Having clients, my gosh, just the honor of that.
Yeah.
Being with people in their profound experiences, right?
Yes.
Highs and lows, and just the absolute privilege it is. And yeah, like just you providing the space for us therapists to give back and share
Yeah.
that. I would imagine that might overload some,
What?
like from therapist to therapist.
Mm.
Yeah, and giving us a little bit of time and space to share.
Yes,
So yeah, such an
absolutely.
exciting and unique thing that we do.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely like, why I became a therapist as well. So it is an honor to be with people and their whole range of life experiences. So I love it. Yeah. Mm,
Thank you so much for
thank
having me.
you. Absolutely. And thank you again for joining me for the second time because our first recording got botched. So, um, this is great. Thank you, Evan,
Cool.
so much for being here. I loved hearing your story and
Thank
through
you.
through a line of, spirituality and these early experiences that you had as a kid that just really fully led you to this path that you're on now and doing such beautiful work in the world. So it was an
Thank
honor.
you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take this into my heart.
Yeah. All
Savor
right.
it. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Say More, a podcast about the kinds of conversations that invite us to go deeper. A mentor once told me the goal of therapy is to say everything. That stayed with me because what heals us isn't just insight. It's the moment we say what once felt unsayable out loud to another person. So my invitation to you is this: stay curious, be brave, and say more. If you'd like to learn more about my work or get in touch, you can visit ChristinaRadnoti.com. Thanks for listening.